I am the bread that come down from heaven. Whoever eats of my bread will never die. So I told you in the beginning of the Mass, the 6 weeks the church took them from St. Matthew, because Matthew was the gospel that we're supposed to read during this year, and put these 6 weeks in meditation on what we really is very precious to us, and that is the Holy Eucharist. If we look at the readings today, we see the prophet Elijah, a man of God, very powerful, and he is very well known to the Jewish people. In fact, they still are waiting for him to come prior to the Messiah. We know that he was in trouble. He was in trouble with Jezebel, and she wants to kill him, and so was the prophet before him. And in order to avoid that she would revenge on him, he ran to the desert, and there he finds himself without no food, no bread and no water. And God promised that he would take care of him, and in fact he did. He sent a raven to bring him a loaf of bread every day, and he asked him to drink from the ravine that was there, and we know that he survived. And we know that now he is running in the desert away from the one who wants to kill him. And while he is there and hungry and thirsty, he prays that he will die because he has enough. And God said to him, your job is not finished. Eat what I send you, get again your strength, and courage, and go, because you have a mission to fulfill. And that same, as we say, prophecy is the background, is the foundation of today's gospel. Jesus now is in front of the Jews. They have experienced through their fathers the manna in the desert, and they claim that God is the one who gave them this manna. And they say that that God provided for them when they were in the desert. And we know that this is something that really is important for us to understand, that the chosen people of God really understand that God has provided for their fathers when they were in the desert. And now Jesus said to them that he is the bread that comes down from heaven. He is the one that the Father has sent. He is the one that they need to eat. And whoever eat of him, they will never have death. They will never die. But I like to really focus on the second reading of St. Paul today as we come to the Gospel again. And we see that St. Paul is trying to remind us that we need to be imitators of God. God walked among us in the person of Jesus Christ. And he did not have no bitterness. He did not have no anger. He did not have any words of dismay. But he always helped the people. He always guided the people. He always taught the people. He always loved the people. And with that great compassion to those especially who are in need of his help, how he reached out to people who are going through a very hard time. And we know that this is something very special, because this is what Jesus asked the disciples. What I have done to you, do it to another. But then St. Paul reminds us that we are going to be people who are going to be not only are redeemed, but we have lived our redemption. And that means that we need to live that redemption of Christ. As Christ loves us so much, we need to love one another. Because the love that we have for one another is something that is called divine. Because the divine love has touched us. And now we have to touch others with that same love that Jesus loves us. And this is the most important part of the Eucharist, dear people. When Jesus said, I am the bread of life, he is saying, I have done what the Father has gave me to do. And now I ask you to follow my instructions, follow my word, follow my way. And then when you eat of this bread, you are going to be transformed. You are going to be different people. And why? Because you are going to care for others. You're going to reach to others. You're going to have that compassion for others. Because whoever eats of me, receive me. And who receive me, receive the one that has sent me, the Father. And that is very important, dear people. He said to the Jews, you don't know me because you don't know the Father. If you know the Father, you come to accept me. Because the prophets and the patriarchs all waited for this hour, that they will find me, that I will be the one who comes to them. So as we go in celebration of the Mass today, let us pause for really a while and see what kind of relationship we have with the Eucharist. How do really we value the Eucharist? Is the Eucharist working within us? Are we people who reach out to others? Are we people who really are trying to submit and really suppress all those evil things that come from us because of jealousy, of anger, of grudge, of whatever it is? Because when we have those things, we do not really know Jesus. Because Jesus is love. Jesus is compassion. Jesus is the one who has come from the Father for one reason, that he will unite us together so that we can have one Father and one Lord Jesus Christ, as we break one bread together and we are called to be one people with one baptism and one eternal salvation. God bless.